This is DJ Dr. Chris.
And it's your favorite nurse practitioner, Bree.
Today I'm going to be talking about industrial seed oils.
And I will be finishing up my chapter on stress.
And after that, we'll pop open a bottle and see what comes out. Are you ready?
So excited.
Okay, Bree, what's going on?
Nothing much. Just got off work. It's a beautiful day in Naples, Florida. And just having a glass of wine. I already started.
You already popped the bottle.
I already popped it. I can always pop another, though. It's not that big a deal.
All right. So do you want to start today?
Yeah, let's go to my area and have your weekly dose of Bree. So this week we're going to finish up my stress chronicles, I feel like. We're going to finish with mental health, mental stress, or psychological stress. So, like I would say, Google definition of stress or mental stress is feeling this overwhelmed stress for a long period of time is often called chronic or long-term stress. It can impact you both physically and mentally. Stress is response to a threat in a situation, whereas anxiety is a reaction to the stress. So we've already talked about physical stress and how it could, interfere with your body and what you can do to kind of help release it or, help your body relax. Now, with mental stress, it's different. I wanted to finish with this because there's a lot of things going on in the world right now, not only with the beginning of the year where everyone was stuck inside the house with COVID and didn't know when our lives would go back to normal. We were talking about stress and different ways to cope with that. But right now with the whole movement that is going on, which I agree with, there's a lot of mental stress and mental health that I want people to dive deep and really reach deep inside their hearts and souls and realize that it's okay to be sad. It's okay to feel what you're feeling. It's okay to be angry, but you have to try to push through all of those feelings and go through life each day. With mental stress, it will take a toll on your body over a period of time. Like the definition said, if you have this stress that's going on, anxiety is the reaction to it. Then I just want people to realize that some of their maybe heart flutters or, anxiousness that they feel when they go out in public or when they go on Facebook or if they go on Instagram, that is all because of what is being fed to their minds. Because every time you open up Facebook, even if it's just a very small little quote or someone posts something, you're internalizing that if you realize it or not. And then eventually it may build up and build up and build up and you may crack. I want people to realize that it's okay to take a step back. It's okay to shut it down. Do not open it for a week or two and take a break. And then when you feel like your body is recharged, you can start over. There's nothing wrong with taking time out for yourself, realizing that this may be too much for you because it is a lot. It's a lot of emotions and feelings that are going in this. And like I said, I support the movement wholeheartedly. I think it's about time that it happened. I think that the peaceful protests, which I feel like the media, they're not showing that much of, but there are people that are actually coming together as one and showing that, yes, Black lives do matter. All like this whole, I stand with you. I may not understand you, but I understand that you're my friend, you're my person, and I'm willing to grow and learn. And that is all that we are asking for. We're asking for the same respect that anyone out there, like anyone in this entire, the country, United States, because I'm not sure what other countries do. I'm really none of my business. I don't live there. But we're just asking that you hear us, that you're saying that you understand us, and that you want things to change. So I just felt like I needed to say that. I've had a couple of friends reach out to me and ask me if I was okay. And I would like to thank them and tell them that I truly appreciate that. I'm not always okay, but each day is getting better. And each day that someone shows that they actually care makes me believe that this world will be a better place, that things will change and things are moving in a positive direction. Don't beat yourselves up about not seeing it before, but the fact that you're trying to open up your eyes now and see it is all that I can ask for, and I'm truly grateful.
Well said.
Thank you.
Sorry, the feedback there. So what kind of recommendations would you say when you get that? I kind of think of it as like a bank deposit, right?
Mm-hmm.
All these inputs are like stress deposits. How do we take some of those deposits out? Balance the books better.
For me, mentally is the same way I take it out physically. So with physical stress, what I do is I go to the chiropractor, I go get a massage, I run. So when I go, well, let me back up. I walk, run, because I am in no way in shape to just run across anywhere. But when I'm outside with the environment, and like, I'm not the biggest outdoorsy person, but I do like to go to like a park, and I love seeing bunnies and I love seeing birds and walking with my dogs or running with my dogs. And when you see people and they're smiling and you see their kids and their families, it helps me mentally because it makes me feel like this world is not this horrible place that I live in. And like massage, it takes me into a whole nother zone, because when your body is having those receptors hit and all the nasty toxins are being released, that helps you with mental stress, because your body's able to go into an area where it can relax and not think about what is going on. Another thing, like I said, is you move away from the stimulus that is causing the stress in the first place. If, like I said, Instagram or Facebook is causing your stress, it's triggering you to have stress, turn it off, and then you won't have that.
Yes, I actually sat through a presentation recently by this business guru named Richard Yu. This guy, I think don't quote me on the numbers here, but I think he made his first million by age of 21 or something like that.
Ooh, nice. I need to meet him.
So he's just like highly productive dude. And anyways, he had some really interesting recommendations that I followed, and man, I'm telling you, they made a big change. First thing is turn off your notifications on your phone. I mean, I leave my calendar notifications and my text message notifications. I've turned off Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those. I turned off all those things. So my phone's like constantly bing, bing, right? Because you hear it and you just, it's a gut reaction or a reflex almost. You go and check it. You turn that off. Now you control your phone as opposed to your phone controlling you.
I can see that, yeah.
First of all, you're just going to be naturally more productive. The amount of time it'll save you from not checking, like sort of excessively checking your phone. Those are hours that you can work or play or do whatever you want to do.
I was like, you're just present. And that's what I told, like at our dinner table, sometimes we're bad, but Michael and I, he'll be like, hey, babe, dinner's ready. And then I'll come to dinner. And then if he's on his phone, I'm like, if you want me to eat dinner with you, you need to be present. Like, I will put my phone down, you put your phone down, and we sit together as a family and we eat dinner. Yep. But otherwise, I'm not going to sit down with you if I have X, Y, and Z to be done, and if you're going to be on your phone. So we have decided that needs to be a rule going forward, that we are going to be present during meals and during like our alone time. Like if you're sitting together, which I can't stand it when I see this with families, it kind of irritates me too. When you are together as a family and you're watching a movie, if every person is on the phone, you're not really together.
Yeah, like you feel like you're watching a movie with half a person.
Yeah, like there's no interaction, there's no connection, because you may miss something because you're on your phone. And then you get a reaction, you look over at the other person, you're like, oh, did you see that? And they're like, no, can you rewind it? No, I don't want to rewind it. I want to see what happened next. So it's just a whole mess.
Totally agree. Yeah, it's time for some phone etiquette. I don't know why there's no phone etiquette. Like one thing I can't stand when people like walk into a store and they're just like shouting into speakerphone. It's like,
oh, I'm that person, sorry.
Sorry. You are that person.
Because I'm like, I'm tired of holding it to my ear.
Stop that. Yes, that's why I want to impart here is these are technology are tools that we created. They're tools for us. We should control it, not the other way around. So here's the other thing I've been doing too, which is huge. Your alarm clock is, do you use your phone for your alarm clock?
Yes.
Stop it. Stop that. Get yourself like a $10 alarm clock on Amazon or whatever. Charge your phone in a different room. All right?
Why?
Because what happens? You go to bed, and I'm guilty of it too. I used to be, at least. Spend 20, 30 minutes looking at that phone, right?
Oh, see, no, that's not me. I literally, when I go to bed, I go to bed. I have never been one of those people that can't go to sleep. So I put my phone on the charger, and I have a setting on my phone where if I touch it at least 30 minutes before my sleep mode's supposed to be, like it's set at 11. So if I touch my phone at 10:45, it does this flashing light saying, go to sleep, go to sleep. And so it knows when I touch my phone, and then it goes on do not disturb from 11 to 7 in the morning. There's no text messages comes through, no alarms comes through, nothing until 7 a.m. So like I've set it to where it does not disturb me in the middle of the night. It even goes on, well, I guess it's like the night mode where it's dark. So if I roll over and I'm like, oh, what time is it? If I touch it, it's still dark enough where it's not going to blind me to wake me completely up. And I like my phone it doesn't bother me at night. The TV, on the other hand, is another thing. We shouldn't have a TV in our bedroom, but we do because on Saturdays I like to watch TV in the bed. But that's a whole nother topic.
You're allowed to cheat a little bit on the weekend. But then in the morning too. Well, so okay, sounds like you're better than the average person. The average person will spend a half hour or so, maybe more, browsing through their phone, scrolling through the phone before they go to bed, and then same thing when they get up. That's what most people do.
No, because if somebody texts me from work and I'm like, it's not 8:30 yet, I don't have to answer. But then I feel bad if they do text me and I feel like I have to answer it. So I just don't touch my phone because then I didn't see it until it's time for me to go to work.
Well, I recommend the alarm clock because think about it. If you do a half hour in the morning, half hour evening, that's an hour right there. That's 7 hours a week that you're just spending aimlessly scrolling. I mean, what can you do? If someone said, hey, take 7 hours, do whatever you want. I mean, reclaim that time, you know? I don't know. Since I've done that, it's made me way more productive.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. All right.
So tell me what's going on in the rehab corner this week.
In the rehab corner. Okay, so I'm excited to talk about this. This is industrial seed oils. All right, I've been doing a lot of nutritional training lately and really sort of dove into seed oils or vegetable oils and how terrible they are. All right?
Vegetable oil?
Yeah, horrible for you. I used to say number one thing to avoid is sugar. Well, now sugar is number two. Number one is vegetable oil. All right, so I got a little note card here so I don't mess any of this stuff up because there's a lot of details here. So back in the 50s, in 1955, Eisenhower had a heart attack. Right? The country freaked out because that wasn't a thing back then. Like people didn't.
I wasn't born in 1955. Right. I don't know.
Paid in the picture, yeah. So heart attacks were not, it's like the number one killer, I believe, right? Number one killer in the United States these days. It definitely wasn't back then.
I think so. Right now it is.
Yeah, they didn't even know really a lot about heart attacks back then. They used to call them coronaries. Anyways, country goes into panic. Eisenhower's out of the office for like 10 days or something like that, and
heart disease.
Yes, heart disease.
Heart disease, number one, cancer is number two, and then accidents are number three.
Yeah, I want to see where heart disease really spiked. So anyways, Ansel Keys was a physician back then. He's sort of the renowned cardiac physician that came up with the diet heart hypothesis. Okay, so the diet heart hypothesis is what is currently in the medical model, which states that a diet high in saturated fat and cholesterol will lead to plaques and coronary or cardiac disease. All right, all the evidence coming out these days is like that's just wrong. So thinking about Ansel Keys, by the way, he invented the K ration. He was in the military, and he was basically the guy who started processed food. The K ration was just this like, you're in battle, you need to eat something, you open it up and you eat it, you don't have to cook it or anything. So that was really like the first processed food from Ansel Keys. And the K in K ration is for keys. Anyways, so he did what's called the 7-country study. Have you heard of that one? It's a big one. It's hugely cited. So the problem with this is he kind of like loved his theory of the fact that saturated fat and cholesterol can cause heart disease, and he biased himself. He was very like non-scientific about his studies. So in the 7-country studies, he went to 7 different countries, and he looked at countries that were high in saturated fat and cholesterol and heart disease, and said basically, look, there's a direct correlation. But what he also didn't do is there were countries that had diets high in saturated fat, and they were high in smoking. And the ones that were high in smoking, they had much shorter lifespan. So he basically neglected all that information and chose the countries that would make his data look good.
Of course.
So data, the study's totally flawed. Anyways, so he was a persuasive guy. So by 1961, I believe, he convinces the American Heart Association to adopt the diet heart hypothesis. And since then, it's been carb up, and drop down in saturated fats and cholesterol. That's been the recommendation since 1961. And then, a decade or so later, increase in everything. That metabolic syndrome, diabetes, stroke, heart attack. Now it's the #1 killer, heart attack.
Yes.
There's kids that are 2 years old with cardiac disease and stroke. It's crazy. All right, so let's go into what I have a problem with, vegetable oils. So vegetable oils come on the scene. Instead of having saturated fat, it's have margarine, basically vegetable oil. Okay, the problem is vegetable oil, to get oil out of like a seed, or corn, you have to expose it to high levels of heat. Okay, so it goes through a process called hydrogenation, right? This turns the stuff into this nasty toxic substance that becomes super oxidative, right? So everyone's all about antioxidants, right? The opposite of antioxidants is oxidative stress. These vegetable oils cause serious oxidative stress and can corrode basically your vascular system.
Okay.
Right? So now they're everywhere. By the way, U.S.'s #1 crop is corn. So there's incentive to make tons of corn oil because it's cheap and easy for this country. So I got a lot of this information from Dr. Kate Shanahan and Chris Kresser. Those are the two who are kind of sort of spearheading this whole thing. So Dr. Kate has coined this thing. It's called the Hateful Eight. Read off these 8 oils that are to be avoided. So #1, canola oil, corn oil, grapeseed, cottonseed, safflower, sunflower, soy, and rice bran oil.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so and when you start reading labels, this stuff is in everything. So, I usually tell my patients, stay away from vegetable oils. And they're like, oh, yeah, I use olive oil for everything. That's fine. And maybe use it on your, salad or whatever. But it's like, if you look at just store-bought salad dressings, pretzels, chips, crackers, even hummus, it's in everything. Even, I was drinking almond milk. I realized that like the second or third ingredient was safflower oil. So I stopped buying it.
Which brand do you buy?
So now I'm buying coconut milk, but there's still cane sugar in there, so it's not perfect.
Yes.
I might just drink my coffee black.
Yep. Stop it altogether.
Yep. Oat milk even has some form of vegetable oil. So anyways, I want to touch on one other point too, that if you eliminate saturated fats and cholesterol from your diet, then you kind of become reliant on sugar or glucose for sources of energy, right? When you have a high sugar diet, and that's where you draw most of your energy from, that's what develops a metabolic syndrome. So if you want to kill your sugar habit, eat saturated fats.
I feel like that's where the keto diet comes.
Yeah, I think a lot of diets are sort of circulating around this idea, but I feel like this needs to be.
But I'm not necessarily sold completely on the keto diet. I think it's great for a jump start for like 6 to 8 weeks, but then I feel like people need a break. Carbs are not horrible. It depends on which carbs you're eating, and because if you look at if you go to the store and buy a loaf of bread, it's not what people used to eat back in the day when they made their bread from scratch, or if you go to a bakery and buy a loaf of bread. Like there's in Jersey, there's this bakery called Calandra's. They have like 3 to 4 ingredients in their bread. You go to, I'm not going to say, but a chain grocery store and buy a loaf of bread. It has like about 7 to 10 ingredients. And it's like, I was like, there's a lot of things that people just don't read labels. And I can understand why they don't read labels, because a lot of healthy foods are very expensive. Like, I don't believe in margarine. We stopped using that a long time ago. So we cook with olive oil. And then I started cooking with butter. Now, the butter that I use, however, is ghee butter, which is the most pure butter you can get. Or there's another, I don't want to like drop name brands, but it's called, starts with a K. It's not Keurig, because that's the coffee maker, but
is it the Irish one?
It's an Irish butter, and it has less process. It hadn't been processed as much.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's what people did back in the day, and they lived a very long time.
Yeah, I mean, it always comes back to like eat real food. I mean, I don't know why we keep getting surprised that like packaged stuff is garbage.
Exactly.
But going back to your point on carbs, yeah, no, carbs are an important source of fuel. Of course, there's the simple carbs, which are to be avoided. That's your basically white stuff. It's white, don't eat it. White sugar, white rice, anything where they've removed nutrients and broken it down to these simple sugars. It's basically void of nutrition. So simple, I mean, complex carbs are good. They're slow burning. They take, you can draw energy from a long time. But the other problem is that, and it probably dates back to what I was talking about earlier with the AHA's recommendation of a carb-heavy diet, is that Americans eat such an abundance of carbs that if we go low carb, then we get closer to what is normal.
Yeah.
That's a big problem.
It's hard because I love, like, I'm not one to talk. I love a good Twix bar or a Snicker bar or a cookie or a cake. I'm the first one to sign up for something sweet. And my chips, I'm not really a big bread person, but chips I love. But in moderation, everything is okay, I feel like. You may not.
I think there's definitely some things that you should just, avoid like it's poison, like vegetable oil. Another point I wanted to make too is, because I was talking about how it's an oxidative stressor, like a big one. Like Dr. Kate says, it's like pouring a nasty chemical down like a sink pipe, right? It's just going to corrode the pipe. And that's kind of what it does to the blood vessels. So oxidation of the LDLs, or the quote unquote bad cholesterols, can cause the endothelium, so one of the layers of the blood vessel, to form plaques. So, LDLs, cholesterol, have been blamed for so long. Well, maybe it's this whole mechanism of eating this and drinking vegetable oil and corroding the pipes. So that's what I got for you. Stay away from vegetable oil.
Stay away from vegetable oil.
Yes, I wrote a blog about this recently. It's just called Industrial Seed Oils. In the blog, you'll see a chart of the oils to avoid. And definitely take a look at Dr. Kate's website. It's drkate.com, drcate.com. She's got tons of great information.
Perfect. So now are you ready to open up a bottle of wine?
Getting ready. Okay, let's do it. Nice sound effect there.
So, in opening up today, we actually got our first question. So excited. Thank you so much for sending questions in. And every week we're going to post for a couple of days before we actually film the podcast and everything. Tell us what you want to talk about. If you have questions for us, we'll be happy to answer it. We love interacting with the listeners, and we're just really excited that the people are actually, joining us and talking and interacting with us. So our first question that we're going to answer on the podcast is from, drum roll please, Miss Jessica _RocksX81. So hi Jessica. Thank you so much for writing in. Her question is, She wants us to discuss about shoulder and back pain for big boobs.
Good
Jessica.
question, Jessica.
I
Now
have
I know exactly who we're talking about.
experience in this. So, well, Chris, you said you had a story about someone with big boobies. Can you start us off?
Yes, I used to live in Miami, and I was a personal trainer. That's where I got certified. So my very first client was an ex-Turkish porn star. This is a true story, okay? She came in to me complaining of back pain, upper back pain, and she had these triple D, quadruple D fake implants, and of course her back hurt. And she was skinny like a twig. So, I was no physical therapist back then, but I knew let's strengthen your upper back to fight with the force that's pulling you the opposite direction. So we spent the majority of our training just working on the middle traps, the lower traps, core stability, anything to stabilize the spine. You need to support that thing that's pulling you forward. And then, we worked on the opposite side too, a little bit of chest stretching because she was very rounded in the shoulders. So just kind of address it from a postural standpoint. And in a few weeks, she got a lot better.
So I'm not going to lie. I had to Google how much weight does a boob weigh? Because I want to know how much, weight you're carrying around. So it says, depending on your cup size, let's say you're a 38C. One boob could weigh 1.5 pounds. And then it says the highest could be 2 pounds. So that's legit. You could be carrying around 4 pounds in the front of your chest. And if you don't have good, back muscles or strong back muscles, that's just going to lean you forward, which can cause shoulder pain, because you got to think all this weight is pulling you down and it's making your muscles work extra. And I call it in overtime. And no matter how much massage or treatment you can get, unless you strengthen that area, there's really nothing you can do besides getting a really good support bra, which then that's a whole nother conversation, because I like bras, but then I don't like bras. But for the sake of conversation, a good bra with good support to lift your chest up will help for the time being. But then I still feel like you need to work out your chest muscles and your back muscles, and you shouldn't depend on the bra, because then that just makes your muscles weak because they get lazy. But like I said, it's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, I mean, the bra will help you keep them up, as you said, but then you need your back muscles, your back extensors in particular, to have to fight against all that weight. So, I mean, just the bra alone is not going to do it. And don't forget that there's something called the lever arm. It's a principle of physics, right? So it could just be 4 pounds, or how much you say 2 boobs weigh?
It's like one boob is 2 pounds. That's like a heavy big boob, like a 42 triple G. Like could be like 2 pounds. So one boob could be 2 pounds. So both of them together is like 4 to 5 pounds on your chest.
Right. So when you factor in the lever arm, things change. So the shape or the length away from your chest matters too. Right. So in other words, if I was to hold a 5-pound weight or 10-pound weight in my hand against my chest, it's not going to feel like anything. It's going to be easy. If I extend my arm fully out, like I was doing like a straight arm raise, that 5 or 10 pounds is super heavy suddenly, because the distance between your body and the weight, that's called your lever or your lever arm, that makes a difference. So just 4 pounds, it sounds like it's not that bad, but it's the how far it comes off of your body. That's what really counts.
I can see that too. So it's like having 2 dumbbells just hanging down. So not always so much fun.
And then going to shoulder, this is something I see every now and then, a suprascapular nerve entrapment. So just where the bra rests on top of the shoulder, right by that bump, that's your AC joint right there, where your clavicle comes to the scapula. It's common to get sort of a palsy of the nerve that passes underneath that area, especially if you have a lot of weight pulling down, like the straps pulling down on that area. You can get a
lot of women have like indentions.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen that before, right? And sometimes you'll see it. Like you can take someone's shirt off, and like we'll have like an atrophy of their infraspinatus, this muscle just below the shoulder blade, which is a sign of a suprascapular nerve entrapment. So sometimes there is a neurologic cause to shoulder pain from bras.
Mm-hmm.
So good question, Jessica.
That was a good question, Jessica. Thank you so much for writing in. So you can find every week we're going to post a little other story where it's going to say, what would you like us to discuss this week, or give us a topic you want us to like dive in a little deeper to. Just answer the little question and we will put it on our list and we will give you a shout out. And that way we can be more interactive with you guys.
So I kind of wonder about silicone. Silicone floats, right? I'm not sure.
You're talking about implants?
Yeah.
I
wonder if that.
Well, the thing is, not all implants are silicone.
Right.
Some of them are saline.
And saline is basically salt water. So
pretty much water. So that way, if it pops, it didn't hurt you.
Yeah.
But not everybody that has big boobs are fake. Some women are just very blessed.
Very true. Okay, so what's going on in the rest of your life? How was your weekend? How are the wedding plans?
Oh, the wedding plans are going. We're wrapping up our guest list. I'm 59 people over what I said the list was going to be. So we'll be sending invitations out soon. And then seeing who RSVPs, we're still full steam ahead. I got my dresses in, I got my shoes. I just have to order the veil. And then we're looking at the tuxes for Michael so we can make sure we get those ordered for the guys to, know which one to rent, because I don't expect anyone to buy a tux. And then I spoke with the hotel venue and they're back open, back running. Everything's going to be good. So
I think Sophie's going to be ready to go down the aisle.
She better be. I'm looking at her dress as well.
She's so cute. Sophie is my daughter, everybody. She's 2, and she's going to be the flower girl.
She's one of my flower girls. My flower girls are the cutest little things ever. They both are just very beautiful little girls, and I'm so excited. And they both love me, so that's a plus.
Sophie can now swim the length of the pool. That's the good thing that's come out of quarantine. I've been doing swim lessons with her like every day.
She's going to be a water baby. Well, that's good.
Yeah. She was in the pool 3 times yesterday. Anyways,
so what's up with you?
Sorry, go ahead. What are you going to say?
I said, what's up with you? Tell me what's going on in your life right now.
I spoke to Chris Edwards from Tricor, and I heard you are set up for your blood draw.
I am getting there, yes. Because I'm trying to lose weight for the wedding. I've already lost like 12 pounds, but I want to lose about 10 more just to make sure I have enough room for my dress. Because right now, if I eat a cheeseburger, I may pop out of it. So I just want to have a good little wiggle room so I can dance very easily. But yes, I feel like some of my issues may be hormonal, and I'm getting blood work completed. So therefore I am able to see what may be going on with my body.
Well, I want to offer you something on air here. So as you know, I'm into nutritional counseling. Would you like to be my client for free? Meaning,
it's free.
It's all about accountability.
Before I sign up for this, do I actually have to work at it? That's always the hardest part for me.
Yes,
I just want to be skinny without having a diet.
So what this means is you're going to have to do weigh-ins. You're going to have to take pictures of your meals.
No.
And send them to me, and I'll do calorie counting for you and tell you what you can do and what you can modify and how much left you have for the day.
So I can go ahead and tell you, I'm game, but you better include wine and vodka because it's the only 2 things I drink.
Well, we'll put that in the plan and reverse engineer everything from there. All right, so it's on.
That sounds fun, and we can talk about it on the podcast. So if I come on here grumpy, y'all know why. He wouldn't let me eat.
You got hangry.
I'm just mad.
So anything good on Netflix these days? Any books you're reading? What else is going on?
So I will say this because I'm obsessed with them. I think they're just so fun. I don't know if you watch wrestling or as we used to say, wrestling. But the Bella twins they just came out with their book, and I didn't buy the book because I'm not a big fan of, like, it's hard for me to read. Like, I can read, but it's hard for me to find time to sit down and just have a moment to myself where I can actually concentrate and just read the book because I'm always go, go, go. But I drive 15, 20 minutes to work and 15, 20 minutes from home from work, and I can listen to a book easily. So I've downloaded it on Audible. It's like $14.95 a month. And their book is called Incomparable. It's pretty much an autobiography about their lives. And I just think they're hilarious. The book, showed a side of them that I personally didn't know. And I thought it was a very easy listen, and it opened my eyes to a couple of things that, I thought their life was pretty much kind of easy, but they actually didn't have an easy start, and they had to fight through a couple of things. And it kind of gives you some kind of like motivation, like, you know what, if they can do it, like my parents can do it, then I can do it too. So that's the one book I will recommend. And another one, if you like a trashy lover's novel, this author called J.R. Ward, their book that I'm on now is called Lover Eternal. It's the Black Dagger Brotherhood. So I was one of those Twilight people where I again, didn't read the books, but I listened to all of the books. And then we went and saw all of the movies. We had a little club going on back in Seneca, South Carolina, which is where I'm from. But this is a vampire type kind of love story, fun, like probably not teenage appropriate type of book, if you understand what I'm trying to say. But those books are good that I'm listening to.
Two things I want to say. First of all, I want you to say that word.
No.
Say it. Come on.
Will not.
And
no.
Come on. One of the first times I started talking to Bree, she's from like the deep south. Is Seneca like deep south? I don't even know what deep south really is.
Seneca's in the mountains.
That's deep south, right?
No, it's not. I think South Georgia is deep south. Like, that's Savannah. Florida doesn't even count. But Georgia, Mississippi, all that is the deep south. Seneca is a cute little town in the mountains of South Carolina where it's connected to North Carolina and Georgia. And it's in the middle. And it's like we have the lakes, we have the mountains. We're only 3 hours from Atlanta. We're only like an hour and a half, 2 hours from Charlotte. We are 5 hours from Myrtle Beach, but 3.5, 4 hours from Charleston. Like, we have the best of everything in that area.
You're right. South Florida, at least, is definitely not the South. I would say you have to go north to get to the South from here.
Right? I feel like it because, like, everybody that I've met in Naples isn't from here. Yeah. They're all from, like, the North or the Midwest.
They're all transplants. East Coast, I'm a transplant. Like Boston, New York, stuff like that, and then West Coast is like Ohio. I just feel like you gotta take 95 down, which is the East Coast, or 75 down, which is the West Coast.
Pretty much.
So anyway,
and I've taken both.
When I first started hanging out and having conversations with Bree, I was talking about something I cooked, and she said, "Oh, did you saw it?" And I was like, "What?" Like, did I go out and look for it? Like, I thought she said SOUGHT, salt. But no, that was salt.
It was salt. I don't think I said it like that. I think you're making this up.
You said, did you saw it?
I said, did you saw it?
Yeah, see, like that.
Sawed it is different than salt it. I'm sorry that my grammar was not on point that day. Did you season that food with salt and pepper?
That's the first thing I want to make funny on that. Number two, I have a big problem with the movie Twilight. The first problem is that I actually saw it. I was forced to see it, which was terrible. Sorry. My other problem I have is the whole, like, when they go out in the sun. What happens to a vampire when it goes in the sun? in any other story.
They're supposed to be destroyed. I know.
In Twilight,
But he glistens.
They
He's beautiful.
So then, like, there's no reason to not be a vampire. You're like stronger, you live forever, and you have the sun, you're like a diamond.
Well, I mean, the reason not to be a vampire is because you live forever. Everyone you love dies. Think about it. Imagine if you lived 100 years and you see like your kids die. Well, you don't have kids, but the people you hang out with that die.
Turn everybody into a vampire you love.
You can't do that. You can't turn everybody into a vampire because you'll have some rogue vampires that go out and kill humans. And then if they kill the humans, then everybody's going to know vampires are out there, and then you're going to have vampire hunters, and then they kill everybody. You just don't know.
Vampires eat animals. Like, can they suck
animals? I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
Can vampires eat the blood or suck the blood of animals?
Yes, in Twilight they can.
Okay. They're like vegetarian? Yeah.
Yeah, because they don't want to hurt humans.
Yeah, I had a major problem with that movie. The other problem I had with it too, and there's such a double standard here. Sorry, I can go on and on about
It's like you just keep going on about Twilight.
The wolf dude, what was his name? I forget.
Edward?
No, he was the vampire, the wolf.
Oh, Jacob.
I love I just know just like that. That kid was like 16 or 17 maybe when he did that movie. And all women were like, oh my God, he's so hot. Can you imagine if it was the other way around? There was like some 16 or 17-year-old girl that was like real hot in the movie and all the guys were talking about it.
Well, okay, first of all, do not be jealous because he was 16, 17 and he had like an 8-pack. He worked extremely hard for his body and no one touched him. So it's nothing wrong with looking at him. Second of all, if a woman is hot, I'm the first one to say, oh gosh, she's hot. I do not, because I'm like, probably does not drink. She don't eat sugar. She don't eat cake. She don't eat pizza. So if she want to look like that, that's on her. I got my fluffiness because I like to eat. So I praise you. You go ahead and do you, boo. But I'm going to be happy eating my Krispy Kreme donut, okay?
So there's nothing wrong with sexualizing a 16 or 17-year-old?
First of all, they're 17. I think he was older than 17 too. Like, I don't think he was that young. He just was playing a 17-year-old in high school. They're all older than that.
Well, we'll have to do that. You can fact check in the next episode on that.
His real name is Taylor.
Well, anyways, don't see that movie if you're happy.
I mean, I hadn't watched it since because the first movie was horrible, but the last one was like a lot better. Like the graphics and like you could tell they got more money with all the filming and stuff. Yeah, he was born in 1992. He was older.
What year did that movie come out?
I think 2014.
Are you sure?
I thought it did. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, because I was here in 2014, and I saw a movie on the East Coast of Florida. I moved here in
it said 2008.
2008, and he was born what year?
92.
16.
91. He was born in 91.
17.
Still. It is what it is.
I'll leave it alone. Just don't see that movie. All right, we got anything else, or should we wrap this one up?
I think we're about to wrap it up, Chris.
Oh wait, what are you drinking, by the way? We didn't even talk about that.
Oh yeah, I just started drinking. So this week I'm drinking a Menage a Trois lavish. I love something that's lavish. There's nothing wrong with a little fanciness in your life. It's a Merlot. It's based out of California. There's a lot of Menage a Trois out there. The Menage a Trois Silk is one of my favorites because it's a red blend. But this one's just a Merlot. This brand has been around for a long time. The only thing is you can't drink it if you're allergic to like sulfur because it may give you headaches because it contains sulfites. So that's about it that I know about it.
I'm also drinking a Merlot, which is kind of rare for me actually. It's called the King Stag. Never had it before. Label caught my attention. It's got kind of a tattoo vibe, which I'll talk about in a second here. It's all right, honestly. It's a little bit acidic for my taste.
I don't like it. Like the Merlots are a little heavy for me now. I like something a little lighter.
I think Merlot does better when it's blended with something personally.
Yeah, me too. I love a blend. A blend is like my favorite. But if I had to choose, like I used to be a big Malbec girl or Malbec girl. Now I'm more, I think because of Michael, I drink Pinot a lot more. But I do like a Chianti, and I like a it starts with a B.
Beaujolais?
A Brololo.
Barolo.
I said that wrong. Brololo. I say it wrong every single time. It's like I have a tongue tied.
Barolo.
Brololo. It is what it is. I like that one.
Everybody likes Barolos. They're pretty amazing. And
They're so good. So funny. As long as I can pronounce it. Usually when I'm at the restaurant, I'm like, I wanted this. This is the one I want. Because apparently I can't speak.
The tattoo-looking logo. So I usually don't fall for the label. Usually the prettier the label, the crappier the bottle of wine, in my opinion. But I think it kind of came up in the back of my mind. It's funny that the buying psychology is kind of funny. Because my wife and I just started talking about tattoos recently. First of all, do you have a tattoo?
No.
That sounds like a yes. We won't go there then. All right. So my wife and I are both dragons in the Chinese zodiac. Not that we're into or anything, but it's the coolest one of the bunch, and we're both that. So both kind of stubborn and strong-willed. So like I said, we're not into the zodiac, but it's just the fact that it's kind of a cool symbol. So we're talking about getting like dragon tattoos, both of us.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I don't have.
I see nothing wrong with tattoos. I think they're beautiful pieces of artwork. Some people don't like them, which they have the right not to like them, and use your body to do what you want.
Yeah, no, I don't have any, never have, but I just never really felt the need to put something on my body. But like, this is kind of a cool thing. It's my wife and I, and I don't know, I might do it.
I say go for it.
I might chicken out. We'll see.
Don't chicken out. I'll be there for mental support.
Where do you think tattoos are cheesy, and where do you think they're cool?
It's hard for me to say that. It depends on your body type and stuff. Like I really if I had to get one, I want one on my foot, on like the arch of my foot, because it's just small. The only time you really see is if I have flip flops on, So, but I mean, I'm a girl.
Where's your tattoo that you have right now?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I feel like you're hiding something.
Never, never, never. But I think we need to wrap this up, and we will see you guys next week.
This is DJ Dr. Chris.
And it's your favorite nurse practitioner, Bree.
I will get down to the bottom of it for you listeners. This is Poppin. Bye.
Bye.